Do you have a dinosaur fan in your family? Then we've got a game for them.
Yep, this month we are reviewing 3 great dinosaur themed games.
That's right, it's time for another 3 in 15. Welcome to Wisco Dice. Hey yo folks, I am your host, the Cozy with the Most, and I am joined today by...
Hey, I'm Suzanne, and welcome back to our 3 in 15 review series where we review 3 games in 15 minutes for you each month. These are quick reviews of games that sometimes we have played quite a bit and oftentimes have only gotten to the table once or twice for us.
If you wouldn't mind taking a moment to going ahead and giving the video a quick like, and while you're there, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, we'd really appreciate it. Of course, you can ring the bell for notifications as well for each time a video comes out. We do release videos weekly. And make sure you stay tuned to the end of this episode. We do have a special contest announcement. So in the meantime, we'll have a lot of awesome content and reviews between now and then to help tide you in, but make sure you do stay tuned to the end of the episode.
Yes, and this month our excitement is focused around reviewing 3 games that have a dinosaur theme park focus on them. So let's get started with our first game.
All right, so let's roll into Dinogenics from Ninth Haven Games. Dinogenics is probably the hardest to get your hands on game in the set of 3 reviews for today. It is one that I haven't ever seen actually sitting in retail, and we happened to get our copy through backing it as a Kickstarter. I believe there's probably another expansion or something that will come out to fund it sometime in the future, but keep your eye out on the used market. Hopefully, if you're interested in this game, you can snag a copy that way. Dinogenics plays from 1 to 5 players, and I'm going to say it's a worker placement / set collection game, and it has a lot of very similar feels to Lords of Waterdeep. One of the big things is, you're going to be placing your set number of workers on the player board, on the game board, main game board. But then during the course of the game, you're going to be collecting sets of DNA cards that match for certain dinosaurs. Like you might need 4 DNA cards for Dinosaur X, whereas you need, say, 6 dinosaur DNA cards for a different dinosaur. And so then you'll be turning in these sets of DNA cards into dinosaurs that you can put in your park, and so on and so forth, while all the time adding paddocks and attractions and all these other things to your park, all through the various worker placement actions. Like I said, it has a very similar Lords of Waterdeep feel. It has cards that are very similar to the intrigue cards that are in Lords of Waterdeep that can provide quite a bit of player interaction, sometimes positive interaction, sometimes gotcha interactions, as well as a various other number of little things that just make it feel very similar and feel in nature of games. So if you're a fan of Lords of Waterdeep, chances are you're going to really enjoy this game.
Yes, I agree. This does feel like Lords of Waterdeep with a dinosaur theme on it. So, for those dinosaur lovers out there, hey, you got this game that you can play. I find Dinogenics to be a well-designed game that can have a lot of depth to it. It's also, we're finding that it's very replayable. We've got several games under our belts for both of us. You can have different strategies each time you play. You can work towards different combinations of dinosaurs and just kind of explore all these different avenues. And all of them seem to be good ways, if you play it right, to win the game. I do find the game visually appealing. It's got some great artwork, trying to make realistic looking dinosaurs. The components are of pretty high quality. It does look and feel a bit more serious of a game than the other 2 that we're going to be reviewing on here. So depending on what your aesthetic that you like is for a game and your game group that you play with, the serious type looking game, it's still a lot of fun. It's just a great game for anyone who's likes dinosaurs and or worker placement games.
Oh yeah, this is my favorite of these 3 games. This is my favorite aesthetically, as far as the look of the game. The feel of the game is great. You do feel like you're building a dinosaur theme park. And the Dinosaur Theme Park, I think, has some interesting things. And the rampaging mechanic, I think this is probably the only game of these three where the rampaging mechanic of the dinosaurs getting out of control actually seems to occur a little bit more often, and the game kind of pushes it a little bit more than the other three. I think the other two, they're a little bit easier to mitigate those kind of risks. That said, I give this game a solid 7 out of 10 for a review, and it's a game that I really enjoy, and I really enjoy taking to conventions. It has very easy and approachable mechanics, so it's easy for people to pick up and learn quickly and be able to get right into the gameplay itself, which makes it a really good convention game, in my opinion. And the fact that it's a little bit more rare means that it gives people that may not have had a chance to get their hands on this but have heard about it to get a chance to play it. So I love being able to share this game that way. It's a definite solid 7 for me.
Yeah, Cozy really enjoys this game, and I enjoy playing it with him and our daughter who likes the game also. I rated this just above average at a 6 for me. I do not like dinosaurs maybe as much as Cozy does, but it's a good solid game. It's enjoyable to play. I have not said no to playing it yet. So, it's definitely worth checking out.
All right, and that is Dinogenics from Ninth Heaven Games.
So, next up on our list this month is Draftosaurus, published by Ankama. This is a game for 2 to 5 players, and each round you're going to draft new dinosaurs, and you're going to pull them from the bag and hold them in your hand, and you're going to draft a dinosaur, and then you're going to pass it, this handful of dinosaurs left, to the next player. So then once everyone has drafted their dinosaur for the round, you are going to place your dinosaur in your park. Each area in your park has different requirements for what dinosaurs can or cannot go there. So it's kind of a bit of a puzzle to get that, so you can score the most points. One thing that we have found is that we own a couple expansions to this game, and they do change up the game quite a bit and add to the replayability and the complexity of this seemingly simple drafting dinosaur game.
So this game is a very light, family-friendly game. It plays in under 15 minutes, typically even at full player counts. It's very quick. It's very simultaneous. A very quick, player placement for the placing things in the parks. It's well implemented on Board Game Arena, so you can always check it out there as well to see if you like it. One of the big drawbacks for this game that a lot of people call it out for is because it is a live drafting game. When you're drafting tokens out of the bag, each dinosaur has kind of a unique size, shape, and feel. So if someone's taking a little too long drawing the dinosaurs out of the bag, it might be because they're trying to fish for the right dinosaur. And so you got to kind of try to keep an eye on that. That said, I don't think it's ever really come up in any of our plays of this game, but it is definitely something I've seen people raise a concern about on Board Game Geek and around the internet. So it's something to be careful with.
Yes, I mean, for me, I rate this game at a 4, so just slightly below the average mark, and that's kind of the main reason is that if you're playing a more serious group, you do kind of have to start wondering and questioning with these different meeple shapes and sizes that are getting drafted. Not that anyone we play with intentionally cheats, but I think it's just almost like, gosh, I'm really into it. I really want this brontosaurus shape. Oh, I can feel a long neck. I'm going to grab that one. You really have to be conscious of that. So, like I said, this is a 4 for me. It is fun. It's very light and very quick. Kind of a nice filler game to have laying around. Or when our nieces come over the next time, I do hope to get this out because I think it's a game they will enjoy also. So
yeah, I put the game at a 5, a little bit higher rated. Again, it's a dinosaur game, so probably why. I do really actually enjoy this. I think it's a decent filler for the filler type games that fall into a game day. It actually isn't a huge box, so it works out well if you wanted to travel and have a travel dinosaur game. That'll actually work out well for that, and especially in like a pub or a hotel environment or airport, because it doesn't have a huge table presence, and it doesn't require a lot of space to play. And so it's got a lot of pluses there, but that said, it's almost always a game that, while it sits in our collection, I'm not grabbing it first when I have time for a filler game in between other games at a game day. So it kind of just sits there, and oftentimes, unless I conscientiously grab it, it's not a game that's getting played. And if you want a slightly meatier game experience, getting it with the or picking up the expansions are definitely recommended. It will definitely add a little depth to the game. But if you're looking for something that you're playing with a younger audience or non-serious gamers, playing it without the expansions is really probably the way to go. And that is Draftosaurus by Ankama. So for our final game, we're going to roll into Dinosaur Island from Pandasaurus Games. In Dinosaur Island, you're going to be playing from 1 to 4 players, and a game that I think at the full player count, it's taken about 2 hours to play. Typical plays when I've played at that player count. I don't think you've had a chance to play it.
I think I've played it at 3.
You played it at 3?
Yeah, our daughter played it once with us.
Yes.
And it,
yeah,
but
she actually likes this one too.
It does. She does. And I think we'll talk more about it, but I think this one just kind of, it felt like it was a lot shorter for me than it actually was.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't feel like you're playing it as long. You're constantly doing stuff.
Right.
And so the game leverages a lot of different mechanics to make everything work. So it's leveraging some worker placement. It's leveraging, actually leverages worker placement a couple different ways. It leverages set collection and resource management and just all sorts of different little things to put together a pretty solid dinosaur theme park game. And the way it accomplishes this is by having 4 very unique phases throughout the game round. Phases and all of those different activities you're doing during the phases, that there's a lot going on here in this game. It's probably the meatiest of the games that we've talked about today, as far as complexity and various things, and you have to do things in a certain order. But it definitely is very rewarding. I don't think I've had anybody not like it or enjoy playing this game when we've gotten it out. So that's a very good thing to say about the game.
Yeah, so you mentioned that it's one of the more complex of the 3 games we're talking about today. And when you think of it as a whole, it really is, but it's broken down into those phases, so it's step by step, and it doesn't feel very complex when you are playing it and it's broken down like that. This is also, I think, the most colorful of the games.
Yes.
But it's not overpowering colorful for me. Okay, maybe for Conesy a little bit. I like it. It doesn't necessarily add to the theme of the game, but it's bright and cheery, and it's a happy looking game when it's laid out on the table. With the board being brightly colored, the dice kind of this glowing amber color. And the pieces overall are just well detailed, and they seem to be sculpted very nicely. We have found this game to be very well balanced, that there's not really one overpowering strategy with it that, hey, if I do this, I'm always going to win. And that makes this a great game for families and game groups alike. And if you have some different level gamers that are playing, it's actually pretty well balanced, so everyone can, have an equal chance of winning. No one feels that they are that far behind if they are going through the steps in it. So I think this is a great option for a game to add to your collection if you like dinosaur themes.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite dinosaur themed games. It is a solid 8 for me as far as game ratings, out of 8 out of 10. If there was big detractors for me for this game, the biggest detractor is the ridiculous colors of the game. I do not understand why they chose such a quasi-neon 80s, just boom, in-your-face color scheme for the game. I think maybe they were trying to make sure it was different, because it was kind of that first dinosaur theme park game that was really on the market after the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. I think it came out after Jurassic World
The
came out.
movie,
Maybe the
yes.
movie did. So maybe they were trying to, separate themselves aesthetically from those movies. But it's just the colors just don't make sense to me. And then you add the fact that the game only really comes with one dinosaur meeple. There are upgrade packs to be able to get the all of the different dinosaur meeples, which basically were sold out if you didn't back it on the Kickstarter. So we had to go buy third party broken token. I think dinosaur meeples for it, so that we could have all the cool dinosaurs, because that was one of my drawbacks for the game when we first got it. And I enjoy it much more now that I have all those
Oh
other
yes.
different
Yep.
dinosaur tokens. Are they necessary? No, but when you're putting a T-Rex on the board and it's a giant pink Brontosaurus meeple, that's not cool.
Gotta
So,
have your T-Rex.
yep, I want my T-Rex. I want my Raptors. I want them all to look right. So I think that's a big part of getting into the immersion of these dinosaur games. So Suzanne, where did you game rate for you?
So I put this as my highest of the three. I put this one out as a 7 because it does have all these different mechanics in it, and you just do so much in every round. And you also feel like you're being successful in almost every round. You've got your plan, you're working your plan. Someone might do something that, takes a resource, something that you want, but there's other options. And I like the game colors. Like, it's just a happy game. And I think the colors make it very approachable for people who maybe aren't into the theme or are just kind of hesitant about doing playing a more complex game with more than just one or two mechanics in it. So I think that helps with it. Like for instance, Dinogenics was very serious looking. If it had all of these different options in there, I think I would still enjoy it, but just the seriousness versus more playfulness, and this one is just a more playful looking game. So I gave Dinosaur Island a 7.
Yeah, I would say like this is definitely the most complex of the three games. And so while I think it has a nice family look to the game, you may find that you need to play this with more of a teens and older audience. The younger kids are going to get lost, I think, in the game mechanics. Although you have to be the judge of that yourselves. You know your children better than I do.
I really hope so.
All right. Anyways, that is Dinosaur Island from Pandasaurus Games. And that does it for our 3 and 15 today. Now let's talk about that contest. So what you'll need to do in order to participate in this contest is leave a comment on this video down below where you tell us what your favorite dinosaur game is. We will randomly choose one person who comments with their favorite dinosaur game on right before next month's 3 and 15 video, and we will announce the winner on the video. We will not be reaching out to you via messages. We will not be reaching out to you in the comments. We will not be reaching out to you via any other mechanism. We will reach out to you and let you know on the next 3 and 15 video. We will say specifically who the winner was. The winner will be entitled to one $25 discount code for the Game Crafter. So they'll be able to go ahead and pick up maybe some cool meeples or one of the amazing games that the Game Crafter prints and produces using that gift card. And we will let you know in next month's video exactly how you reach out to us to get that code. Okay? So that is how you're going to participate in the contest. And I think I covered everything, but Suzanne, did I nail it?
I think that is what we're going to do for this contest. We're excited to have our first YouTube contest, and also I'm looking forward to seeing what other dinosaur games are out there that everyone feels are great, and maybe it'll give us some new ones to check out if we haven't already. So with that, thank you for joining us for another 3 and 15, and remember to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the naming of the winner in next month's 3 and 15. Hopefully it'll be you.
Hey there, it's Conesy. Thank you so much for watching. We put out videos weekly here at Whiskey Dice check out our channel for more great videos and don't forget to subscribe. We also have more great content on our website at wiscodice.com. Of course, we do this all for you, the viewers, so please like the video if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.